So I'm hanging out in Riverside today at Threshold Climbing Gym, and I'm here with Alex. Alex, tell us about this place.
Well, we opened up in April 2008. We offer 2 different types of climbing. We have bouldering, which is this general section right here. You see everyone climbing with no ropes. And then we also have the rope climbing section back there. Those walls are about 30 feet high, and to climb those, you get set up in the harness and you learn how to belay and do all that stuff.
And I know in addition to the climbing, you have this huge space right behind us here. And what is this area used for up here?
So this is our fitness area back here. We do instructional classes. We do power hour Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6, and that's like a really intense, high energy circuit interval training class. Also, members are free to come up here and use all the equipment just to train and work out.
Now I know here in the Inland Empire there are very few indoor climbing facilities. Why Riverside? Why did you guys land here, and what is it about this area that brings a lot of people here to you?
Prior to us opening up, there weren't any gyms in Riverside. I guess climbing gyms in general have just kind of exploded and really entered mainstream popular culture, and you see climbing more on TV, you see it everywhere, so it's just gotten really popular.
Now I asked you right before we turned on the camera, do you climb?
Yes.
And how long have you been climbing?
About 4 years.
About 4 years. That sounds about the time where the gym opened, huh?
Yeah. So I started climbing when the gym opened. That's kind of how I got introduced into the sport. And I just met a lot of really cool people that helped me out and showed me how to climb and what to do.
Now, compare indoor rock climbing to outdoor climbing.
Oh, it's so different. It's so different. It's similar, obviously, they're related, but I mean, for one, the gym is a very controlled environment, which is awesome when you're starting to climb. Outside, you're not gonna have the 16-inch thick foam padding all around you. The holds aren't marked off like that. You're climbing natural rocks. Yeah, it's just so different. The way the holds are shaped and everything.
Let me ask you this. In terms of bouldering, I see more people bouldering than I do on the big wall back there. Why is that?
It's really, really friendly to new climbers because you just climb. You don't need to know how to tie your knot. You don't need to know how to use a harness. You don't need to know how to use a belay device. You don't need to know how to belay. All you do, it's really intuitive. All you do is start from the bottom, climb the top, yeah. And there's technique involved, but for the most part, if you're a new climber, you don't need any instruction. You can just get started.
Now, there's some ladders behind us here. Tell us real quick, those aren't always here, right?
No, and these you'll probably only see during the morning hours. And the reason these are here is because, there's routes all throughout the gym. Those routes get put up by these guys, and these guys are the setters, and the setters are in charge of taking routes down, putting them up. They're kind of like the artists of the climbing gym.
So creating the challenge or making it harder, more easier or whatnot.
Exactly.
Is there an easy route for a beginner that somebody comes in who's never climbed before that you would recommend?
Yeah, and so we have a grade system throughout the gym.
Okay.
Bouldering uses a V scale, and so what that means is the easiest boulder problem in here will say VB. And there's not just one VB, they're gonna be all throughout the gym. So that's the very easiest. And then the grade scale increases numerically. So it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, so on.
Oh, wow.
The grades are subjective. That's another job of the setters, is they're in charge of assigning a grade with the problem. So because it's subjective, you don't want to let the grade get too much in your head, but it's kind of like a guideline for people to use.
So can we go check out a V0?
Yeah.
Okay, is that possible?
Yeah, definitely.
I got a V0 right here. Ready? Look at that, huh? -0. I'm kidding. All right, you chub. And so I'm gonna try bouldering, right?
Okay.
And then I'm asking you. This is called
Yes,
bouldering.
this is bouldering.
Okay. And what do I do?
So I'm gonna have you'll climb this route right here, and you'll know this is the start of a route. All the starts are indicated by this V shape of tape.
Oh.
The V shape, there will also be a grade at the beginning. So like I said earlier, VB would be the very easiest. You're gonna start with your hands on the start hold, and you're gonna follow that color. So
Okay.
there's gonna be feet marked off in that same color. And then you're just gonna grab all the way, you're gonna use whatever color holds all the way to the top.
Okay. All right. Well, while I'm working on this, I'm gonna see how far I can get on this. We're gonna roll the camera around to Kevin, who's gonna go on a more advanced route, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna be hitting some of those advanced ones. So Kevin, oh, look at that, man. He's starting way underneath there. Check that out. Now, what kind of route is he doing right here? It's going sideways on us.
So anytime a boulder problem moves sideways, it's called traversing. And then you wanna stay, actually no, you're good.
Wow, look at that. I'm up with Kevin. Now, his looks a lot more complicated than mine.
His is a little bit harder.
It's a little bit harder, huh? Woohoo!
So this is a good one right here. So that's another thing. Not all the VBs are gonna be black. They might be red or purple. That one just happened to be black. So this is a V0. This will probably feel the same as that VB.
Okay.
It looks pretty easy. So this one has a double start. It has 2 little V's. So you'll start both hands right here.
Oh, wow.
So one of the biggest misconceptions about climbing is that it's a male-dominated sport, and there are a lot of dudes that climb, but there's also, a lot of really, really strong females. A lot of women get discouraged. They think, oh, I'm not strong, I can't do that, I can't pull myself up. But as you can see with Ashley climbing,
Holy mackerel, she disappeared on us.
yeah, and Ashley's one of the strongest climbers in here. Like, she's totally awesome. You don't need to be discouraged by that.
A couple of the gyms I've been to, and I didn't see it up there, but a couple of gyms I've been to, I noticed that when people climb, they actually go to the pull-up bars like midway and do pull-ups. Wow, why are they doing that?
Everyone has different training routines that they want to follow. Even though climbing is a lot of lower body technique and a lot of footwork,
Yeah.
it's also obviously going to be a lot of arms.
Yeah.
So having strong arms does help. A muscle dude that can crank out 50 pull-ups really can only go so far in climbing. Just because you're super strong in your upper body doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna have to step back.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you step over here then too.
That's the thing in the gym, you kind of always have to be looking over your shoulder.
Have you come up, yeah. There's people following you.
Yeah. So being super, super strong in your upper body is helpful, but it only takes you so far.
Okay.
Like I'm not a muscly person, but I can climb fairly decent.
Well, I thank you, Alex, for sharing with us.
No problem.
It's obviously a very unique spot here in the Inland Empire. It's a place where you can come here in Riverside and just, hang out with some of your friends. Ugh. Oh, yeah. We'll see you next time. Bye.